Let's get started.
Here we go. Now let's get it all in perspective. We did it like that, and now we do it like this. Do not attempt to adjust your dial. I'm transmitting live, yo.
Let's get down to business.
Now let's get it all in perspective. We did it like that, and now we do it like this.
All right.
For the underground world, every street and borough.
You may learn something.
Experience.
You are now listening to the Joe Rogan Experience with Chico, Simon, Kamar, and your host, Matt Floyd.
Welcome to the Joe Rogan Experience. My name is Matt Floyd, joined as always by Kamar
Welcome to the party.
and Simon.
What's up?
What's up?
What we do here is very simple. The three of us have listened to every episode of the Joe Rogan Experience this week. We are going to rate each episode as well as the week on a scale of 1 to 5 Jamie Vernons. We're then going to talk about each guest, the talking points, give our opinions, this, that, and the next. But first, I believe Kamar has some new patrons to go over.
Well, I thank you, Brother Matt. This is my favorite day of the week. And it's also a point where my prayers have been answered. I've prayed for patrons, and here they are. New to the club, Zach Joseph.
What's up, Zach?
What up, Zach?
No one has difficult names, though. You know what I mean? Then Craig McCauley, cousin of Macaulay.
Oh, you could have fucked that one up.
What's up, Craig? Shout-outs to you.
What's up, Craig? Thank you so much for your generous
From
donation.
across the pond. And I think this is our first billionaire, David Partridge III.
Didn't one of them come in at a big level?
That's a big, this guy's obviously a billionaire. Or a billionaire's son.
So that was him. Thank you, Dave, for
David Partridge
for the
II.
big old donation. We appreciate the
David
shit out of you.
Partridge the Third.
And late breaking, this came in at Make-A-Wish 10:10 this morning. Mason Mayhew.
Shout-outs, Mason.
Sounds like a quarterback.
Thanks so much, Mason.
Thanks so much for joining the team, gang.
Thank you to all the Patreons. You get the post Joe where we talk shit, other things than Joe, and have a good time. Thank you to all patrons, old and new.
And throwbacks. What a throwback last week.
Oh yeah, and
You didn't even listen to it.
I did it.
yeah,
What do you mean? Why
he
do I
was
have to
there.
listen
He was
to
there. But there's a bunch of throwbacks. When you read off that list, I was like, wow.
I think we've done 56 of them or something.
Get on the Patreon is all I'm saying.
Kamar, how was your week?
I have the recollection of doing 2, 3, maybe.
No, I don't remember any of them.
Of all those,
Yeah.
I couldn't tell you.
Yeah, but
Well,
do
they
you
all
remember
blend-
doing
they all blend
186 of
together.
these?
But I do feel like we did Tom DeLonge twice.
I feel that too.
Yeah.
Or I feel like I've talked about it with you, but because when it came
We've
out,
spoken about Tom DeLonge ad nauseum on this show. It doesn't mean we did the throwback.
As I was making the notes, I was having deja vus, and as we were doing the episode, I was having deja vus. So maybe it was an alternate reality situation.
This is my favorite thing about this podcast is we still live like it's 1992. These guys could have both done the research and found out we've never done Tom DeLonge, but they'd rather just speculate
no,
that
it's just a feeling. I know we haven't. I know it's physically impossible for us to have done it, but it just feels.
Oh no,
like
I meant
deja
as a
vu.
throwback.
I felt that.
We
I
definitely
feel all
didn't-
these things.
we
but
definitely
I know,
didn't do
I know
it
it's
as an
not true.
episode.
That to be said, that is the most recent throwback we did was Tom DeLonge, and it was wild. But as for my week, I did a couple sets this week, and then long overdue, we had a celebration of life for my friend. Shout out Johan, rest in peace. But his family wanted to do it at the House of Paint.
it's the House of Pain.
Well, it's what we created was a House of Pain, which you were reminiscing yesterday, but not yet. Now it's at the House of Paint. Co-opted it.
It's not fine. It is not the House of Paint.
You know how though they always say like these are ceded lands for the Algonquin. I want them to give thanks to us for creating that.
Yeah, thanks to keg parties under the bridge.
Yeah. In any event,
We did that.
Yes.
We did. I know. That's what I was saying. That's what I was saying there. You know, make it about me. In any event, we're there. It was just a cool spot because he was a cool guy. But while it's going on, there's all these motorcycles with girls in bikinis taking pictures of the bikes in front of
You guys chose the one day where there was like a
the
photo
graffiti.
shoot
There was
going on down
some
there.
other- It was like sluts and bikes. I don't know what the theme was. So it was just, and you know Johan, or if you don't know him, he was classy and trashy. So
He
the
would have
guys-
loved it.
So it's totally apropos. But at one point, like his best friend Robbie wrote a song for him, and we all went out by the water, on the other side. And as he's playing, these two girls are coming back, like changing their underwear. And in my head, I was like, is this happening in the green room of a strip club? Like the only spot we could get. It was so surreal. So it was very apropos of him. And then the weirdest thing is, his sister wanted us to cast the ashes because he was cremated into the river, and it's right.
To the Ottawa River.
What a weird spot to do
That's
that.
what I'm saying.
Anyways.
It was surreal.
Yeah.
That's
Like out of the Big Lebowski.
That's where he grew up.
Yeah.
Back, you know what I mean?
It's from a Wes Anderson movie.
But speaking of the movies, when you throw ashes, have you ever seen ashes? Like we all got our own thing of ashes. I kept some.
Were
I have-
there chunks in it?
Yeah, there's bones and stuff in it. It's
yeah.
wild. It's
Why don't
really
they do
wild.
a better job fucking burning that shit
I don't
down?
know, but it was.
Forget burning it down, dude. You get a little sifter, just like anyone has them, and you just put the ashes through it and keep all the bones and shit out, right?
I don't know. I have a bit of him now, and that's cool. But when,
Is it?
I don't know. The idea of ashes is weird.
when you go to toss ashes, you can't do it. Well, we did it, but if you do it on lineup, when you toss them, they go in the face
the
of
Big
the
Lebowski.
person
I just said
beside
that.
you.
Yeah,
That's what
of
I'm saying.
course.
It happened so fast. Like, oh, and I was like, oh my god, I'm sorry, guys. And then this guy's mother comes behind me, tosses it. I just get a big face, so I took him in, and it was a beautiful ceremony, and it ends. It's a fucking tragedy, but what are you gonna do?
What's the over-under on Kamar snorting some of his ashes at some point?
So I have them, or we were saying smoke them.
Well, I guess it's ash, so.
I mean, either way, I don't like the idea of smoking or snorting anybody.
But it was
You
close.
should do what they did in How
First
High.
family, and it was nice.
You should grow a Johan weed plant.
Yes, well, I don't even know what I'm going to do with the ashes I have, but
They buried somebody and then grew.
The premise of the movie How High was that Redman and Method Man had like a super smart college buddy who if I remember correctly, they got into college. Their super smart buddy died, and Redman was like a really good like weed grower, so he grew weed in the ashes, like put ashes in the soil, and it ended up growing this insane weed where when they smoked it, they'd see their friend. That was the premise of the film.
sprinkle the ashes in the soil.
There you go.
And ash is good. Like
Ash is good for soil.
That was my
That's
week.
true. That is true.
Well, we're sorry about your friend. I know it happened a while ago, but
they said, well, it's just the pandy and whatnot. Finally got
hate
around
that
to
word.
doing it.
Simon, how was your week?
Oh, my week was fine. I want to give a shout out to Sam Tripoli. What nice things he said about us.
Oh, the clip? Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what
like
that guy heard.
unbelievable.
It goes actually a
They
step-
really get us.
He gets us, yeah.
Especially Johnny. Johnny is really like the level head of that podcast.
And if anyone was going to cast aspersions, it'd be Johnny.
and there were no dispersions cast. He really got it. It's there. We are an after show.
Yeah, he nailed it. Can I also say I took the time to message Sam on Instagram just to say thanks for not shitting all over us. He got back to me.
Oh yeah,
Said, no problem. Keep up the good work.
We're in the big leagues. But
you're friends with Sam Tripoli now, just
No,
like
I'm
Kamar's
not, no.
sister is friends with Joe List.
I went out of my way to be like, listen, man, I don't expect you to respond, and I know you're busy, so don't even worry about it. I don't expect you to read it, but yeah.
What he did do in the clip, though, is read all the negative comments.
That was one of the best parts.
Yeah, that was good.
Mary was listening to it, and she was like, did this guy just say you were shit? And I was like, no, he was reading one of the many reviews that say we're shit.
If for some reason the universe makes it so we get to go on tinfoil hat, we'll wear the shirts.
Can I tell you why it
The
was a
bad
refreshing...
comment shirts.
Can I tell you why it was a refreshing clip for me? Because it seemed like two people that were smart enough read into the reviews and were like, these people just don't get it. You know what I mean? Because I like my concern, whatever. Why am I talking?
Smart enough. They took the time to actually look at the...
Yeah, but my point is like,
picture.
yeah, sure, okay. Simon, how was your week? That was it?
Yeah, that was pretty much it. I got...
Pat yourself on the back.
No, that's not... Oh, I see. Yeah, no. Yes, a good old pat on the back. I took a walk. I walked home from work. I got really high.
It's not a crazy
Which is
walk.
my
That's a
new
good walk,
thing
though.
when I'm going to go into a situation that is going to cause me anxiety. I get super high.
You anxiety, the anxiety. Yeah.
I fucking lean into that
That's how
shit,
the book of
man.
Joe.
I've been doing that when I've been going to the movies lately because it really it makes me uncomfortable.
Crowds?
And now I just fucking obliterate myself and then go in there, and it's more like a trip for like the first 20 minutes and then. But anyway, so I walked home. Ooh, soundtrack.
Just getting us taken down.
I had no earphones or anything, so I couldn't.
Oh, I don't know how to do that.
I couldn't tie into the Matrix, and I was like in the real world.
You just walked raw?
raw dog,
That
man.
gives me anxiety.
Yeah, can't do that.
With only my thoughts, which I hadn't done in a really long time, apparently, because thinking felt like alien. But I think it was really refreshing, and it reminded me just how like this blanket of earphones, all of that shit, content is just like so necessary to my life now. And
Is it necessary, or maybe it's unnecessary that you've had this experience?
Well, no, I'll go right back to it though. It's not like I have this big revelation and I'm strong enough to, you know what I mean? I need to get into the country for like a month. And just fucking decompress.
I mean, when you say that though, like I always had headphones and music since I was a kid. So nothing has changed in that regard.
I did.
Like, it's not like I grew up walking with no sound. I just podcasts are a new medium in that, and I guess social. But I'm not walking around on social media. For me, I always had music. I feel like Kamara was the same. Maybe I'm wrong.
If I had batteries, though, his Walkmans and stuff was just different.
Discman.
Yeah, I'm with you. I had the same struggle, but I'm just saying, like, first of all, don't forget, my dad lived in Orleans. I had like an hour bus ride. There's no fucking way you were making that ride without.
For sure, since I've 20, I've had some sort of setup with headphones. Of course, for sure.
Dude, I remember when the iPod came out, I was like sorry, Simon. I was like, I have to get one of these. This is a game changer. Like, dude, the Discman in my pocket used to be, it was obscene.
Well, yeah, but
and
it
then,
had anti-skip, so you were all good.
It didn't matter. And then you had to carry around spare discs, which was...
Remember when the little mini came out? And it was like, this is just all I ever needed, and now that's...
What was so funny is, like, you know, everybody had a CD player, and then you got the car CD players, and then things started getting crazy where you could get the multiple CDs you could plug in at the same time, so you didn't constantly have to switch, and then all of a sudden, it was just...
MP3s, yeah.
MP3s, and everything became obsolete.
Where does all that stuff go?
Giant dumps full of fucking...
No, that's not true.
Look,
I have tons of CDs. I haven't gotten rid of them. People still collect vinyl. You got to realize, first of all, if you actually care about sound, MP3s are garbage. Not to be some hipster douchebag about it, but like...
I have vinyl.
There you go. That's the highest fidelity sound you can get.
I was listening
I wouldn't keep CDs.
Well, what am I going to do with them? Sell them for $1 a piece?
No, you throw them in the into the landfill.
I was listening to a mutual podcast we listened to, and they were mentioning there would be a time when the majority of music you heard was just on AM radio. Like, imagine how bad that quality is compared to MP3s or remastered CDs. But that was the standard, and it was good enough.
I watched the first couple of episodes of the Pentaverate.
It's garbage.
Hold on. Stop right where you are. Stop in your fucking tracks. You watched the first couple episodes of a show you can't pronounce, and you haven't finished Ozark? Do you have a fucking problem? Like, what is happening? What are we doing here?
Anyways, the good joke is that Canada's fuzzy. That was funny. Because we are kind of fuzzy.
Does not carry a 5.
Anyways, whatever. Yeah, that was my week. How was your week, man?
No, did anything big happen on this walk with no media?
Oh, I had all sorts of revelations, man.
So you had nowhere to take the note down for those revelations.
I don't know. They're somewhere in here.
Oh,
no,
so
I
they're
had
lost to the
I had a
ether.
couple of good thoughts. One about like you pass a lot of people coming in and out of your whatever you want to call it bubble. You know what I mean? But unless you actually look at that person in the eyes, I don't think you actually register them as part of like the simulation.
And they remain an NPC.
Exactly, but for that moment where you're both thinking about each other, that's what makes something real.
I want to know your route, but I'll ask you in the post, Joe.
Yeah, save it. Matt?
How was your week?
Jesus Christ, I don't know. On this walk, did you think of finishing the merch for us, just out of curiosity?
I have all that ready to roll, man. Have it ready to roll.
I hate you so deep
We
down.
work in mysterious ways.
I hate you so deep down right now.
We're building
Nothing. We're building nothing. My week was nothing.
demand.
My week was shit.
Because soccer's over?
I thought you had lost interest in it. You just stopped that.
You think we're just paying money for this thing to not make money? Yeah,
That seems to be a lot of things in my life.
that's true. That is true. Is my week shit because soccer's over? No, it sucks. That's for sure. And no World Cup, like I keep bitching about it. Real pain in the ass. I hate baseball. We're basically down to one series in basketball.
Hockey.
Hockey's almost done. We're down to 2 series in hockey. Edmonton, that was crazy. Calgary got robbed.
And then what? You have to take like a month hiatus from sports before
What do you mean a
football
month?
season starts again?
What are you talking about?
Calgary got robbed because the skate,
Yeah, that was not. Listen,
but they're calling it goaltender interference, not kicking the puck.
no, I thought they said it was a definitive kick.
It was because of goal. They called it goaltender.
Jesus, are you okay?
Golf tender.
Kamar's having a fucking stroke.
Goaltender interference was why the goal was waved off.
But I was watching the game. I saw the ref come to center ice and say kicking motion.
Well, then maybe I was misinformed because I saw it without sound. Mm-hmm. It was looking, and the skate puck into the net is sort of a weird thing, like because it could be the subtlest thing. You're not supposed to. It can hit off, but you can't.
Listen, I'm not saying he didn't.
There can't be a kicking motion.
I'm not saying he didn't craftily direct it in. What I'm saying is that the rule reads, like Simon said, definitive kicking motion. In my opinion, uneducated.
It's a stupid rule because just by like literally changing the direction of your foot by a couple of inches,
The problem is this guy had one skate on
it's
the ice.
angles, right?
Simon, this guy had one skate
didn't
on the
see
ice and was falling. So it's very difficult.
Yeah, it's
It was
difficult
no
to say.
Brett Hull.
I guess they did get robbed.
Stick in the paint. Or
Listen,
foot in the paint.
I still think they lose in game 6 or 7. I'm just saying in that specific, like, this is the playoffs.
And I don't know if you've ever been to a playoff game that is really important in your home stadium and they lose, but it is like because the
Energy.
yeah you're so into it and it's such a letdown. Like the walk to the car, stuck in the traffic, getting out of the parking lot, getting like just like so deflated. So yeah, I
Dude,
feel for Calgary.
The year we lost in the Stanley Cup Finals, I was at 2 of those games. It was.
I think there's something to be said for like mass misery too. You know,
100%.
people share or glee. Like
Yeah.
sharing emotions.
It amplifies it
Oh,
somehow.
for sure, man. You're like tapping into something there that.
Yeah, I agree. You are for sure. Either way, my week was whatever. Par
But the
for
weather's
course.
nice.
We mini putted. That was fun.
Summer's here. The
crazy
trees have
intro.
bloomed. It's
Yeah.
good to be alive.
It is good to be
Dude,
alive.
you know, just speaking of mini putt, you know when you get so hungry that you start sweating? Dude, does
Yeah,
that
you were
ever
so
happen to you?
hungry. You were like angry at mini putt.
No, dude.
That's angry.
I lost. It wasn't even hangry. There was no happy or sad. It was just I lost all strength.
Aren't you guys members of the club? You could have gathered to make you happy.
I
He's
know
not
I
a member
should,
yet.
I should have gone and just bought a chocolate bar or whatever, but like, dude, I couldn't think, and then
And then
all I
Maribel's
could
closed.
think about was Wendy's, and then I didn't, and so I turned left, and I had to decide between Burger. I'm sorry, I just judged this though, but I had to decide
Matt's
between
week.
Burger
He was
King
there.
and A&W.
Easy choice.
AW.
Yeah, Burger King every time.
There's something wrong with this guy,
Okay,
right?
so
There's
I
definitely something wrong with
I
you.
went against my better judgment because I've had Burger King a couple of times lately.
Hold on,
couple of Junior Whoppers and some chicken fries. Like,
There's
get
no
the
way
fuck
you're better.
outta here.
Hold on. There's no fucking way that your better judgment brings you to Burger King,
No, my better judgment apparently brought me to A&W.
which is a far superior product.
Oh, you went to AW
It was
over.
horrible. Like,
What about it?
their buns are so gigantic, and I think they toast them. And what it does is it doesn't taste toasted, it tastes stale. So you're eating like a semi-decent patty between two giant stale buns.
They're not stale. They're toasted.
Okay, they're way too big, first of all.
Someone
There's
shafted
no
you on your
ratio
burger.
to that burger.
fine.
Anyways.
Kamar, can we hear the guest for the week? Let's do what we really do here.
Look how angry he is because I don't like A&W.
I don't know. It's
Terrible.
listen.
And I got their chicken burger garbage.
Well, what
Well,
are you
okay,
doing?
that's
You
your
don't get
problem.
a
You get the
chicken burger?
teen burger,
I
obviously.
did. I got 2 teen burgers and a chicken burger.
For yourself.
Yeah, I ate the chicken burger.
Glutton.
Something wrong.
Disgusted.
That probably also cost you $24.
Exactly. I ate the teen burger. disgusted, and I couldn't even eat the third teen burger because it was so
The
fucking
third
gross.
teen burger.
Well, the second teen burger, the third burger.
Yeah, no, I'm with you.
I would go to Burger King if it was just if I was going that way. Rather than do the U-turn, I would go to Burger King, but I'd go to A&W.
There are starving
Well, you
kids in
had the
Kenya
choice.
that
They
wouldn't
were in
eat
the same
fucking
complex.
Burger King. It's terrible. Yeah, but we had a week, and you hit it right. I think you called this 1822. We went from a long time. Chrissy Steffi Pants. Chrissy
That's mine.
Stefano.
That's mine.
We're in the middle of a pandemic, for God's sakes.
Jesus
822, Chris Stefano, followed by everyone's favorite Brennan, 1823, Neil Brennan, followed by 1824, because he's close. I feel like Joe didn't even want him here. Lex Friedman.
I feel like Joe didn't even want him here.
Finished with 18...
Like he saw Lex at the gas station, and Lex was like, hey, let's fire one up. Joe's like, fuck.
Yes, it was something like that.
I was
because
headed home. I just finished jujitsu.
It was 2 hours and 30 minutes, and Joe's like, we're like over 3 hours already. Let's get out of here. Wrap
We've
it
been here
up.
5 hours,
Yeah,
Lex.
what we're going to talk about. And I finish off with 1825, Ali Siddiq. Same thing. You didn't know why this was happening till you did.
Until you did.
Until you did.
It seemed too soon.
He
was just on.
It all came out in the wash. We'll get to it.
Yeah. Which we talked about the day after. So just, keeping current. Way to go, fellas.
Do you want to rate the week?
I'll give it a strong 3.5.
Was it all comedians?
Lex is a stand-up comedian of the highest regard.
Everybody
Yes,
but Lex. Yeah. I'll give it a. What did you give it, Kamar?
he gave it a 3.5.
I think I shot high.
I'll give it a 3.5.
No, I'm gonna give it a generous 3.
Yeah. No, I changed my mind. I give it a 3 as well.
Okay, I feel like we should. It's funny that we live in a world now where like there were multiple mass shootings in the last 2 weeks,
yeah.
and we didn't touch on either of them. Not a moment of silence, not a word. Like, how many kids got gunned down this week in the States? I mean,
Too many, I guess, is the answer to that.
yeah,
But there was a shooting in Texas.
that's what we're talking about. Yeah,
What we're supposed to do something about it?
yeah. Come on, we're gonna Kyle Rittenhouse our way down there and vigilante justice.
We will talk about it because they talked about it, but I don't
Just
know.
saying,
what we're
it feels
going to do.
crass to just start the show without, Anyway, fine, go ahead. You're right. Name and a number, Kamar. We'll get there. We'll get to the dead kids.